We're going to do a video on exponents, and there's a lot of different things you need to know about exponents, but the most basic thing is if you have something like 2 to the 5th, what does that actually mean? It means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 5 times. What we're going to do is we're going to learn all different rules about exponents. And so we're going to use some notation like a to the b really means a times a times a dot 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 b number of times. So with that in mind, we're going to take a look at our first rule, and this is going to be the multiplication of two numbers with the same base. So what we mean by base is if you have a to the b equals c, you'd say that a is the base and b is your exponent. And technically c is equal to the power. So let's take a look at, power of the base. So let's take a quick look. I'm just going to do a quick example. 3 squared, 3 is your base. And 2 is the exponent. Alright, so now we're going to focus on multiplication of exponents. And this is some pretty good stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the rule in the general rule, and that'll give me an example. So for example, if I have a to the b times a to the c, well, let's see. What does that look like? Let's say if I had 3 to the 4th times 3 cubed. 3 to the 4th really means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. This is really 3 to the 4th. Times, right there, 3 cubed, 3 times 3 times 3. That's really 3 cubed, and that equals 3 to the 7th. So if you take a look at your exponents, 4 plus 3 equals 7. So if you're multiplying two numbers with the same base, you can just multiply, or I'm sorry, that's not true at all. You can just add their exponents, just like that. So I'll give you one more example. Let's say 5 cubed times 5 to the 4th does not equal 5 to the 12th. It equals 5 to the 7th, because you really have 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, which is 5 to the 7th. All right. I'm going to do one more. No, I probably shouldn't have erased that. That's okay. I did, so no problem. And I'm going to do division of exponents. Well, division of numbers with the same base. And I'm going to actually give you the example first. I'm going to say, if I had 4 cubed divided by 4 squared. Well, what I want you to remember is, if you have 6 divided by 3, you can always write that as a fraction. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to write 4 cubed over 4 squared. Take a look what happens. I get 4 times 4 times 4 divided by 4 times 4. Well, I know that 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 4 once, and I'm just left with 4. But I'm not going to write it as just 4. I'm going to write it as 4 to the first. Curious. So it says 3 and 2, and I end up with just 4 to the 1. So what I'm hoping you should realize is this. If you have two numbers with the same base, and you're dividing, and they have exponents, all you have to do is subtract the exponents. Let's take a look at one more. 5 to the 6 divided by 5 cubed equals 5 to the 6 over 5 cubed, which is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And you might be saying, well, if we already know the answer, why are we doing this? It's good practice. And let's take a look. Those sounds are me simplifying. We're left with 5 times 5 times 5, which is 5 cubed, but like I said, we already knew that, because 6 minus 3 is 3. So that's it. And that's Exponents video 1, multiplying and dividing numbers with the same base.